So the first report we're going to digest is the Accenture Pulse of Change Index 2024, which is a great report that has just come out in January. There are quarterly indexes as well as a yearly report. This is 3,450 senior executives. And essentially what it's doing is it's helping us understand what's the rate of change and what's impacting the change within the organizations. What do we predict going into 2024? And they break these changes down into certain categories: technology, talent, economic, geopolitical, climate, and consumer and social. And my top 3 takeaways from this report. Number 1, 88% of executives fear that 2024 will be the most accelerated rate of change that we have ever experienced, which is crazy considering that we have just gone through COVID. You know that old joke, which is what drove transformation within your organization? Was it the CIO, the CEO, or the CTO, or COVID-19? We've never seen such dramatic change probably in our lifetime. Maybe we never will again. And what's driving that change? My number 2 takeaway, technology. And behind that, artificial intelligence. And that came from number 6 into number 1 in 2024. Of course, during 2023, we had, on the back of COVID, serious labor shortages. We had economic issues with wars, and there are lots of news about sustainability. But with the artificial intelligence that's come out and gone mainstream via OpenAI, ChatGPT, and Bard, every organization on the planet is starting to wonder, how are we going to leverage AI? But it's not just the organizations that are doing it, it's the everyday person that is grappling with the idea of how artificial intelligence can be used, will be used, and will it actually possibly wipe out humanity, which is what I heard from Max Tegmark when I had my podcast interview with him. If you haven't seen that podcast, definitely check it out.
And it might get even worse. We're in charge right now, we humans of this planet, because we're smarter than the tigers and the other animals. If we make something even smarter than us, there's no guarantee that we won't even lose control, and we might just get wiped out the same way that we wiped out the Neanderthals.
And my last key takeaway is that 52% of executives fear that their organization is not ready to cope with this pace of change. I think that's ridiculous. I think it should be 98 or 99% and 2% that forgot to answer the question properly, because I don't think anyone is really ready for the disruption of artificial intelligence. We are still really trying to learn and understand how we're implementing this technology. In conversations that I've had with many boardrooms and many executives, everyone is grappling with the idea. And in order to be ready for these things, you have to have an agile culture. You have to be able to experiment. You have to continuously learn. You have to have great leadership. It is all down to culture. And I don't feel that organizations are ready for this. The good news is I do feel that most of us are all in exactly the same boat. So it's a fantastic report. I highly recommend you download it, take a look at it. So my last question to you is, do you think artificial intelligence is going to be as disruptive or less disruptive than mobile and cloud put together? Thank you for listening. I would love your feedback. I would love also any new reports that you think we should be included as part of our 52-week series. And thank you also to Rich Bentley for helping me focus on the top 3 priorities. He said, Dave, get to the point. Thanks very much for listening. I'm Dave Anderson. This is the Tech Seeking Human Digital Digest, and I'll see you next week for another report.